Man, this is a big dumb bullshit. But yeah, if you're just joining us because I can't fucking stream this, you've missed a Makarax. Spent the first 2.5 minutes trying to stream this game. But instead we're just gonna record it. This is the best I can do. Fuck everything. I wonder if I can get away with like a YouTube stream. I don't even think I can stream to YouTube. For his credit, HotboxHero did not overreact to the fake proxy racks. He just kind of played it nice and safe, but that's alright. PeeandKeele does not care about this racks that much. This is a mech-based build, so who cares if your shit doesn't get scouted or your barracks isn't active? And this is also... I actually have never seen this. This is some weird cyclones. Cat. This cat is jumping on me. This is a fun thing I haven't seen before. He's going to rush magfield accelerators. He's got a second factory before we even get a hint of a command center. PeeandKeele is looking to dunk HotboxHero, who has no idea what's going on right now. He has no vision of this. He has no vision of this lack of natural expansion. Just now going to get started. My phone is going to beep. Looks like a widow mine going. This is a weird build. I've never seen anything like this. The Cyclone's gonna drive up. It's not gonna have magfield accelerators just yet, but it's gonna chill out for a bit. Gonna get in there, get some good poke damage on this adept, which the shield battery is going to heal up for the most part. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of just wasting shield battery energy. There we go. A little bit better macro to save that energy. As the barracks floats across the map to get a scout, and it looks like PeeandKeele not looking to dunk on anybody, instead is just perfectly fine not dunking away. I mean, he's about to have magfield, which will kind of shred through the units here of HotboxHero. Once it's activated, there we go. Lock on starts doing. Oh, that's an uncomfortable amount of damage with these little red laser beams. There's an armory to make this widow mine more effective. HotboxHero's third is well on the way. So I feel like PeeandKeele has to do something here, but really, like, all he can do is be kind of annoying more than anything. I mean, like, yeah, there's 3 widow mines that he's slowly. God, I've actually never seen this kind of play. This is really cool. He's getting drilling claws now. It's literally just widow mine cyclone. I'm actually stealing this. This looks fun as shit to play. And you just have the barracks for high ground vision as you constantly push forward with the mines. Does get both mines focus fired down. That was really good by HotboxHero. He's gonna clean this up pretty effectively. Well done by him. PeeandKeele pretty behind here. The Stalker's gonna try to chase. We'll end up getting another cyclone. Needs to be a little more careful. All right, there's still things on the map, you know. I mean, not to mention there is this one mine still. Man, this magfield accelerator is just so good at picking up. This seems like so miserable to play. Oh, no. Okay, he sees it. This cat needs to actually understand that I'm busy. Sorry. Yeah, these widow mines just getting in such good positions. There's now an observer though, which is going to see these and be able to focus these down. Uh-oh, the run by. Alright, he's... HotboxHero is getting sufficiently annoyed here. He does it. This is the problem though. If he makes like one mistake, like these mines are gonna do so much. Oh man, really kind of gutsy decision by HotboxHero, but the correct decision. I cannot believe he's only lost 4 probes to this. This is actually nuts. There's just so many widow mines going in and out of his base. And once he gets blinky and starts chasing away these small amounts of cyclones, third is on the way for PeeandKeele. But HotboxHero in a very commanding position to start the series. I really wish I could stream this. This is actually a really fun game to watch. And like I said, I'm stealing this. Like, fuck it. As a Terran player, I'm absolutely doing this. Kind of get to drive around with cars and then like jump forward with widow mines. I love that he's continuing to try to poke with these, but like Blink is ready. Yeah. Hold on, a little bit focus. Okay, there we go. Great focus fire. Doesn't lose too much. Does pay off both those cyclones with Blink. And it's going to move in probably into disruptors against this battle mech style that he's facing so far. I've always wanted to do like a super mine heavy style where you just place a bunch of mines on the map as like an asshole move, but looks like PeeandKeele will continue transitioning into this mech gameplay. He's built a second barrack so he can keep making more factories since he lost his first one. Double armory is done. Tanks on the way. Reactor to starport on the way. Third on the... not even on the way. It's actually done. I'm going to build a missile turret here to be able to take care of this observer if he gets the vision of the flying area, which is actually kind of annoying. Usually you see this from Zerg, right? But I think he has vision of it. I don't know if turrets give flying vision or what, but he will have gunned this down. Alright, well, I need more than gun in town. I mean, that said, though, HotboxHero is more than content to just sit at home and like be like, alright, well, you're just going to turtle with tanks and battle mech? I'll just take a fourth. I'll get a Cyclone, or a Colossus, I'll get Charge. Colossi is also pretty good against the battle mech, especially because of the mines, you just get to outrange all of them. Makes it nice and easy to take care of. Upgrades on the way. The stock are going to see these mines try to get in here. And, I mean, there's plenty of cannons anyway. There's no way they're getting past this and actually doing damage. Spoke too soon, maybe? Nope, he'll be fine. Well done by him. I mean, losing one stalker there, that's sure. PeeandKeele is really just trying to get the needle in and just be like, hey, I'm going to keep being annoying with this, and if I get lucky once, like, you're going to take a good chunk of damage. But so far, HotboxHero not allowing it. Does lose a bit of supply there, but gets it right back. Not sure what that was. Just now the third landing for Mr. PeeandK. Does have a fourth in position. I'm seriously about to cast holding this cat, guys. This cat does not want to listen to me. Seeing some Hellions get added on here, kind of a weird choice. I think that might have been a mistake, frankly. Yeah, I think he wanted to make them out of this factory, but... This is so much better than like having a live stream, you know that? Where I have like a chat to talk to and like fun to have. This is like way cooler, guys. This is just awesome. I'm so glad that my upload speed's trash. That's fun. This is a fun game, to be fair. I should be happier that I get to watch this at least. This Hellion's gonna go for a run by. A bit of a beefier run by. What's really in position for HotboxHero? Ever since his observer died, he hasn't remade it. He has like no map vision really outside the occasional unit here and there. And these Hellions could do some pretty big damage. I mean, there is a good number of shield batteries and there is a couple cannons, but I mean, like, you see, it's weird. HotboxHero is playing this like it's bio. Like he's got the Templar in the Warp Prism, but what are you gonna storm? Like, you gonna storm Hellbats? There's no Hellbats. I mean, these Hellions are gonna just run into his mineral line here. He is getting a pretty good split off, actually, and these aren't Blue Flame Hellions. I didn't even expect that. And so he's just gonna clean this up pretty free. That's... I don't know. Everything's kind of going HotboxHero's way. I don't disagree. I don't agree with his decisions necessarily, but the man's winning pretty solidly right now. He's got a fifth on the way, with plenty of defensive structures. He's got an army that would be excellent against almost any composition. I think the storm is kind of unnecessary, but... Oh, I don't have music on. There we go. I kind of would love to see him take either a more aggressive position on the map, or like start taking more bases. Because it's not like he's going to get punished for taking bases. This is a mech army that's just building up over time, right? These Hellions going to try to drive across the map, are going to run directly into a huge amount of Zealots. They're going to try to... They're just going to give up. They're not even going to try to do anything. And will we see a push here, finally, from HotboxHero? He's been poked at all game, and he's just completely ignored it. Are we going to see a push? It looks like it. Again... I'm not sure what he's going to storm. It's gonna run right into these Widow Mines, cleans them up though before either of them go off. Loses the Observer right away, and here comes the response from PeeandKeele. He does have a pretty good tank line set up, but the High Templar are out, gonna storm the Vikings. Does do a pretty good chunk of damage to them. Tried to find something better to storm, but there's nothing to storm. He's just gonna force a lift on this base. Disruptor shot will go out, not connect with anything. Second disruptor shot though will be pretty good. Cleans up a ton of units actually. And yeah, with the follow-up warp in here, I think he's just gonna break this. This music feels like an appropriate volume, right, guys? Anyone else hear anything? No, it doesn't matter. I think, yeah, my man PeeandKeele just a little bit too far behind. We're gonna turn down our music volume. Volume. What was map 2? A light shade. So HotboxHero taking game number 1. Cat taking up enough of my attention to really. Oh, come on. Hello, cat. Cat's on my lap. We'll start the game. Ugh. Alright, spawning in the bottom right, currently up 1-0, playing for all inspiration. It is HotboxHero. And in the top left, in the red, playing for the Rhino team, in Slash Feeding's team, it is Validity Gaming's PeeandKeele. Yeah, pretty solid game 1 from HotboxHero. The man plays a very defensive Protoss style, and there's a cat next to my mouth, dampening my sound. Plays a very defensive style. I really liked it actually, because he just kind of didn't take any damage. It was really worrisome as a Terran player, like, especially because again I am an aggressive Terran player, kind of like PeeandKeele showed in that game, where it's like I want to keep poking at you, but I mean HotboxHero just shut down everything. Literally nothing did more than 3 probes of damage. The Hellion Run by killed 3. And the part where he ran like 6 mines and killed 3 probes. Like, that's just worrying. So we'll see what PeeandKeele pivots to in this game. I feel like you have to change up what you're doing at this point, because, like, just, it didn't work. There's nothing else to say. This probe gonna get in, get a good scout off. Gonna see pretty normal stuff though. This is a good theme. This is one of the better Terran themes in my opinion. Sorry, a little distracted. We're gonna take care of this real quick since there's not a ton going on. I mean, yeah. Quick update. Nothing's happening still. Creeper gonna go ahead and get in, see pretty much normal stuff. Blah, blah, blah. There's not normal stuff happening on the side of the map. I'm sorry, I gotta guess the game. I'm trying to get anything working, but this is going to be a 1-1-1, one-base push here from PeeandKeele. This man saw his pressure get held in game 1 and is like, fuck it, we'll just go beefier pressure for game 2. Like, this is going to be Marines, tanks, libs, and just constantly pushing forward, inching forward each time between the Liberator and the tank, because there's not going to be enough units for the Protoss to hold this, and then they're going to be very sad. That said, I think this Adept got pretty far onto his side of the map and saw that there's no expansion here, and yeah, there's 2 batteries on the way. HotboxHero is more than aware what's coming for him. Got another gateway on the way as well. He's completely stopped producing probes. He has an Immortal coming. This is a Sentry coming. There's an Observer out. I'm assuming there's probably should be a Chrono Boost on this Robo if he had one. He does have one. He's not spending it just yet, but I mean, he's reacting pretty correctly here. Just get more units, you know, like get this second gateway up, stop probing. Yep, there's the Chrono Boost on the Immortal. This push is coming across the map, and this is a beefy push. There's some boys with this. There's like 6 SCVs here. There are 2 batteries, and he is actually... Okay, so he didn't Chrono because he was saving for Super Battery. That's a super obvious decision. This Observer is going to catch this push coming, and he'll be more than thrilled to meet this at the top of the ramp before these tanks siege up. Starts sieging up, or starts picking off tons of units, actually. This Liberator sieges up, but that's completely fine. That's not in position. He's killed so much of the bio with this push already, actually. Like, now the tank siege is up. He's gonna get focus one down and get it. He's just gonna focus down the other one and get that, and then back up. This is... My god, HotboxHero literally is just refusing to take damage from anything. There's a bunker going up, and there's a siege tank, but he's just gonna keep poking away at these units. Scan is going to kill this Observer, as PeeandKeele realizes you seem to be playing a little too well around what's going on. But oh my god, like, HotboxHero... This is scary. I don't like this. As a person that likes doing fun Terran stuff, this is scary. He just kills the Liberator and backs up. Like, he's taking a lot of tank shots, yes, but he also has 3 batteries. Like, who cares if you take tank shots? So Raven's going to get back here. It's going to shoot down an auto turret, but I can't imagine he'll do much of anything about it. He'll probably... I would honestly have almost just left it with the batteries, or maybe even just pull workers for a bit, but why not? Honestly, screw it. He just continues to, like, outgrow this Terran army that's supposed to be in this entrenched position. Gonna hit Guardian Shield, go in. Focuses down the bunker. Does have enough firepower to get it, and from there we'll clean this up pretty handily. There is a second tank here, but... I mean, the first tank's already dead. These SCVs trying to repair each other. GG is called. HotboxHero off to a quick 2-0 start. Just through sheer not damage taking. Like, Romanticide, Pillars, Oxide are going to be our remaining maps. And we're going to give this series a little bit more attention, frankly. Because it's deserving it. I mean, PeeandKeele's execute, like, that's the scarier part. It's not that PeeandKeele is playing poorly. Like, he's executing these builds about as well as you can. It's just HotboxHero is just one step ahead of him. Man. Of course, PeeandKeele right back into it. Shits out the GL. He's going to have to reverse sweep if he wants to win this series. Let's see if he can do it. So far, Validity Gaming 0-1 in this round of 8, but they do have 2 players left. PeeandKeele looking to make it not go 0-2, but he is going to have to win 3 straight. HotboxHero looking for the first sweep of the round of 8. Would be a nice statement for him. Spawning in the top left, in the blue, for Valagy, the Rhino team, it is PeeandKeele. And in the bottom right, in the red, playing for all inspiration, match point, it is HotboxHero. So, while this game develops a bit... Oh my god, I didn't sleep well. Too much coffee. Let's go over a little bit of the history of these players. PeeandKeele 4-0'd his group pretty easily, in round of 32. Round of 16, PeeandKeele, same thing. His group was a little funky because of what happened, but he did end up technically making it out in first after one of the players did have to drop out. As for HotboxHero, he had a pretty rough ride here. Got through the Protoss group of death in Group F of the round of 32, and then got placed into a group with Killjoy, 11, and Ice, and managed to survive that. Very well done by him. Looking to really make a statement, and yet again, we have a Makarax from PeeandKeele over by this mineral wall on Romance's side. Looking to freak out his opponent a little bit. We'll see. I mean, HotboxHero didn't even take the bait last time, really. I mean, is he in respected this time? Like, he's got a Reaper wall near his mineral line. He is going to just go ahead and looks like and drop that 20 Nexus and then go in. He did go core first, so that does give him the earlier unit if this is a serious proxy, but I mean, thankfully for him, it's just not. He will see this SCV coming from a weird angle if he was in a little bit better position, but I mean, it's not necessary. He's not worried at all. He's prepared. Like, he's not even changing his gameplay up enough to matter. I do like it. It's a... Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I do like it, though. It's a really cute thing you can do as Terran to just throw your opponent off, especially if you're going mech and you don't need that barracks. I do think, if possible, PeeandKeele should have probably tried to play a little bit better. Or not better. God, that's such a dick thing. That's not at all what I meant. I think you should try to play a little bit differently. I think... I don't know. HotboxHero, it's hard, right? It's really hard in a best of 5 series, especially for a round of 8 of a, you know, I would like to think a prestigious tournament. It's hard because you have to play pretty well, and what do you do when the playstyle you're most familiar with just isn't working? Like, not only is the playstyle you're familiar with not working, but maybe one of the builds you prepared, you know, like that 1-1-1 just also didn't work. Like, what do you just go for it in game 3 and go, this is what I'm comfortable with, let's do it? You know, it's better than doing something random, right? That yawn was so big, I actually muted my mic so I just get a huge yawn off. There is 2 adepts here. This could actually be a little bit of a problem if it weren't for this Cyclone about to pop out and kind of shut this down. It's going to deny the bunker. There is a Marine in the back shooting away, and then again, Cyclone with Magfield will come, or not Magfield, with a lock-on will come out, scare away this adept. Adept number 2 will go home, tell its friends what it saw. Wouldn't that be like a weird, fun thing to do in RTS games? Like if your scouting unit like got there and like actually had to make it back alive in order to tell you what it saw. I literally wasn't yawning before this started. HotboxHero, again, just taking a third, just going full macro, like, oh, this is the same shit I saw in game 1. Yeah, I'm good. I'll just macro. I'll get a faster Robo Bay this time. Like, I mean, this is one of the best skills you can have in these long series, is being able to see something similar and adjust to it. Like, he's like, okay, cool, this is something similar. I'll just take a slightly faster Robo Bay. I'll just tech a little more aggressively while also continuing to prop my economy like I did the first time I saw this. 2 observers here, a little random. I feel like this could be somewhere else. But PeeandKeele also changing up a bit. He's dropped the mine idea. He's decided, I guess, that was just held a little bit too well for his tastes. And he's going to go into more of that generic mech style. He does have a Raven out, which sucks, because he's actually missed this observer. The one observer on the side of the map. But these two Cyclones actually being super annoying. One of the problems is that PeeandKeele skipped Blink instead for that Robo Bay. And he really can't punish these Cyclones yet. He's going to just have to kind of deal with them. I mean, until Blink and Charge is out, or Colossi or Disruptor, there's really nothing you can do against these Cyclones. Even then, Colossi kind of just make them leave. They don't really kill them. Again, like I was saying, sorry, before I got distracted, PeeandKeele is adjusting his playstyle. This is a much faster third than last time, and obviously a much faster natural than last time. He's deciding to get these factories up and running first and then start producing units, as opposed to having the very dominating map presence he tried to have earlier on. And yeah, he's just going to build a shit ton of missile turrets to avoid getting hit by any sort of warp prism shenaniganry. Probes are going down due to the auto turret. Very well done. He's going to get like a lot of probes to this. I feel like sometimes you don't respect the auto turret, and it's like, oh, this auto turret just killed 5 probes. That's cool. Thank you. Thank you, Blizzard. 2 observers still hanging out, having their secret meeting. Kind of like 2 eyes, if you think about it, considering they're observers. This one observer is eventually going to go down once these missile turrets are queued up. Does he have vision? Yeah, he has vision now. There it goes. Goodbye. Another 5 probes go down? Another 5 probes went down. Right here. I'm not actually sure what that was, too. The only thing I can think of, it must have been another auto turret, right? Yeah, okay. It was a Banshee. That's annoying. Blink is on the way, so eventually this Banshee won't be too big a problem. But he is continuing the Banshee production, is getting a 4th up. He's got the missile turrets, and PeeandKeele in a much better position than he was in Game 1 with a similar build, because I think he's kind of clued in, and this is what I was talking about, adjusting. Like, PeeandKeele has adjusted. He's noticing, hey, wait a minute, you seem to be really defensive. Like, I don't think you pushed at all until... I think he's pushed literally once this entire series. So, I'm not going to play into it. I'm going to play out of it. I'm just going to go for a really heavy mech style where I harass you with smaller unit pokes, and you know, these auto turrets pop in, they do some damage, and maybe a Banshee pops in and it does some damage, but like, I'm not going to commit. I'll commit once I have like, you know, 20 tanks, and we'll see you deal with that. But until then, like, if you're not going to push and you're just going to play a macro game where we both just build up, like, I'll play that game. And I think it's the right decision because it's working out. I mean, just look at the supply, right? Not only is he slightly out macroing his opponent, but the units he's making are big boy ass units. These are not tiny units at all. Again, just constantly poking. He doesn't even have mag field. He's just constantly poking to ensure that like HotboxHero is always on his toes, and he's scouting and he's getting information. Really, actually like the adjustments made here. I think PeeandKeele heard the cast that he can't even see live stream because my internet is being fucking stupid. So well done to him. Way to cheat somehow. Maybe my internet's lagging because he has a virus on my computer. Who knows? Another auto turret comes in. This time there's a cannon and a battery here to just say, okay, come on, dude, piss off. I'm done with this shit. Charge and gravitic boosters on the way. +1 armor almost done. +1 weapons just getting started. Really not a ton of upgrades for either player, but again, like, I don't think that matters too much. PeeandKeele gonna get his 4th. His 4th of his opponent's been up for a little bit, but these magfield these cyclones are gonna get in. Lock on pretty hard to this random pylon while the real damage dealer, this Banshee, comes in and starts focusing on the probes. Being well controlled. He's going to have to back up pretty soon here, but he's just going to go to the other base as the units of HotboxHero a little more focused on taking care of those 2 Cyclones. He's going to get a decent amount of probes, actually. That's 9 probes. Like, when you look at the probes lost this game, 23 is not free. 23 is kind of a lot of probes to lose. I mean, it just shows. PeeandKeele is macroing very well. Not that it's frankly that hard to macro mech, but at the end of the day, he's doing it, right? Whereas HotboxHero just now kind of spending his money, replacing these probes, getting some units. I'd almost like to see just like if he had the chance to make a Void Ray, because this shit's annoying. I mean, he shouldn't. It's the incorrect response, but I kind of want him to. Only one auto turret goes down. Raven does not have energy for both, but the Banshee does come back in. Not going to be micro well enough. He's going to die. Raven does live on to be annoying another day. And yeah, PeeandKeele, again, he is more than content to just sit at home, macro up, get these tanks going. You know, get that real perfect mech army composition. Colossus loaded into a warp prism. I'm not sure what HotboxHero... I mean, he's got the gravitic drive. That marine scouting probably... I would assume at some point if PeeandKeele gets the chance, he's going to throw this off and get some extra money out of that in supply. And we finally do have a push from HotboxHero, but it might be too late. Like, if the tanks for PeeandKeele get into a good enough position, and he sees this push coming from far enough away, with sensor towers or what have you, like... This is not a fun, casual army to run into. Is that hyper... Okay, no, that's, it's the train's... It's servos. Scan goes down. Wait a minute, where's your army, my dude? Oh, shit, your army's not here. God damn it. And yeah, I mean... how are you gonna fight into this? This is a beefsteak army right here. It is a bit of a zealot run by here. Unfortunately, the 4 tanks will make this pretty well dealt with. And yeah, the planetary as well. We're gonna get some pretty heavy splash damage, but now he's sitting inside. Gets the Raven finally. That's nice. A little bit of F2 there. Is HotboxHero going to commit to this ramp? I don't think he should, and I don't think he will. Again, there's a lot of Templar here. I don't play enough Protoss to know whether or not this is a thing that people are doing, but I just don't see what the Templar... Like, there's 8 Templar here. 2 Banshees going across the map after seeing the army of HotboxHero. Knows he can kind of get some good pokes on here because... I mean, part of the problem with these like late game engagements is you don't really have the supply to warp in necessarily. He is going to have 5 Stalkers worth, and he should see it with his Observer, but... You know, where is his attention? Looks like his attention will see it. He's going to pull back fully. Storm wasn't done anyway, so I guess that's probably a good reason to. There is... I mean, this is a pretty fun army to storm, to be fair. It just doesn't do that much damage. PeeandKeele seizing on the opportunity, figuring out, well, hey, wait, if your army's going to go back, like, I can take a position on the map and I can push, like... And he's not shying away. He is taking an aggressive position here in Game 3. These Blue Flame Hellions going to get in, burn away at this Stalker. Recall going to actually come in here for PeeandKeele. We're going to recall about half his army to this base. This is a questionable decision. These tanks are going to siege up and death rains from above. My god. Just chews through everything. And yeah, the HotboxHero is going to have to give up this base. PeeandKeele has claimed it as his own. Might even have to give up this base. This is actually a really nice tank siege position for PeeandKeele. Just now adding on Thors. I'm going to blink over this mineral line, try to save this base and do something, but I mean, there's no way he can engage into this. Like, there's so many tanks sieged up in position. And HotboxHero is just bleeding off units here. The scan going to see, you know, frankly, nothing. There's really just not a lot to see here. Big warp in of charge lots, which is kind of what he needs. He does have charge. He has +3. He has the better upgrades, but he's got to get a good position. These charge lots, gonna kind of get an okay position, but they burn their charge early, and there's just so many tanks. Like, he needs some way to engage this, and the only real units that can engage this are, like, disruptors, frankly. Either that or just a lot more charge lots, but he doesn't have it. He's been building Stalkers all game. Bit of a weird fight here. He is going to try to get on top of these tanks yet again. This War Prism with the Templar not dropping anything. They're just now dropping some. Getting some good storms on this. Is it enough, though? I mean, the supply of PeeandKeele just continues to go up, whereas HotboxHero not winning this fight at all. It looks like PeeandKeele says, no, I am not going down 3-0. HotboxHero fighting to stay in this game, but I mean, we got big payload Thors that are just focusing down these Colossi. Almost gets that one, but even then, like, the charge lots are sort of the last breath of this army, and these tanks unsieging, not even going to allow any splash damage. HotboxHero backing up after picking off the Thors, but He's adding on the Immortals, but it's a little bit too late for that. I mean, he just doesn't have the supply anymore. I think this is a very excellently played game here by PeeandKeele. He's going to take game 3 here pretty soon. You know, once these tanks kind of get in position and sieged up, yeah, he's only sieged up a couple of tanks. GG is called. PeeandKeele taking game number 3. Just an amazingly well played game. Adjusted pretty perfectly to what he was seeing from his opponent. And it'll be Pillars and Oxide for the final 2 maps. Kind of respect that both players are going with the blue and red. It's something I like to see on some level. It's not important, but I like to see it. Alrighty, we'll go into game number 4. So we look to continue on in our quest to decide a 3rd member to invite to our round of 4. Spawning in the top. How do I do this? It's like Control Alt 5. Look at that. I know it. Spawning in the top right, looking to close out the series, getting a second chance at it. It is HotboxHero. And in the bottom left, looking to continue his success. He's got to do it 2 more games though. It is PeeandKeele. I think again. I don't want to retread the same ground over and over again, but that's half of what casting is. PeeandKeele made a great adjustment in that game. He kind of ditched the super aggressive style he was playing, and he's moving in more towards a sort of passive, like big-ass build mech unit style. So far, HotboxHero has not shown an aggressive bone in his body. He's pushed twice in 3 games. Like, you know, like, let's force... It's a little scary when you're down like this to play somewhat defensively and macro oriented, because what if your opponent does some crazy shit you're not prepared for? But especially when you're on match point. But if your opponent hasn't done anything, just that's fine. You know, like you gotta. I think you gotta take a somewhat of a chance, and I think PeeandKeele is exemplifying that pretty well. Probe is going to get in, scout essentially what he saw in game number 4. We'll see if it's a similar build. I think it won't be. I think PeeandKeele has kind of solidified his style. I mean, there's no double gas. There's no effort to hide this. This is your pretty standard Reaper at fast expand. And meanwhile, from HotboxHero, it is more of the same. Continuing to do... I mean, it's worked for him 2 games. I got sesame seed stuck between my teeth. That's weird. I'm so sorry. I mean, this is what you get when you guys play macro. I'm gonna start talking about shit that I find in my teeth. If you don't like it, don't play macro. Factory on the way. I mean, this is a different build from PeeandKeele that we've seen so far. He is mixing it up. I like that. It's looking like it. I don't know. This could obviously be Hellions. This could be just normal bio play. We haven't seen bio yet, unless you count game 2's 1-1-1 push. But so far, no bio to be found. Meanwhile, back at home, HotboxHero got the 2 adepts rolling. See if he sends them out like he did a couple games ago. And oh boy, alright. I've just not even been paying attention. This is a Dark Shrine. This is some DT bullshit. HotboxHero maybe again adjusting himself. Says, all right, well, you've out macroed me, you've beat my macro play style, you've got the way you want to play. You know, fuck it. Let's go DTs. This Reaper gonna get in. Is gonna see the DT shrine though. This is kind of an awkwardly placed DT shrine, because the Reaper could still jump up and see it. And yeah, it looks like PeeandKeele has seen it. NG Bay on the way. He's got the option to make the Raven if he wants to. Does have to lift his starport here, which has a very bright light on the front of it. Kind of dumb. It looks like he's going to wait for the Barracks Tech Lab. So, lifting his starport instead because he wants to, not because he has to. I mean, is this just mech again anyway? And that's why he's playing like this? Who knows? I do not know his original intention. What I do know is that he is like more than prepared. He's got turrets. He's got 3 turrets going up. He's got some Hellions. He's got a Raven coming. This proxy pylon for HotboxHero is committing, but not that hard. He's still got a third. This is just a very... This does not need to do damage, right? 2 DTs are going to slow warp in on this side of the map. But really, like... HotboxHero is just playing his normal way, but with some Dark Templar thrown in, because fuck Terran, right? I mean, like, these TTs are going to walk in, see the detection, and just hopefully walk out. And even if they don't, it's 300 to delay your opponent's base by a good minute or two. I mean, it's not perfect. It's not what you want to do, but I'd do it. Man, is he only going to walk 1 DT in and see the detection? I mean, this DT is a little brave. I mean, there's, like, so much detection. But even then, that's 150, 150. Gonna walk the other DT in, so that is gonna be for 300. Doesn't even get the mule, and so his shenaniganery is held for once. But he's that's cool. I'm good. That said, PeeandKeele also good. He's got his third halfway done. He's not too far behind. He's not unhappy with that. Looking to get some good damage in. Part of the problem with the DT opening is you don't have a lot of units. These Hellions could actually do a good bit of damage, but no, gonna pull back most of them to get it loaded into a medevac. This actually, I kind of like this a little bit more, because there is enough units here to stop the Hellions, right? Like, the thing is, there's not enough Hellions to defend 2 locations at once. I thought he would go third and natural with these, but instead, he's going to go third and drop into the main with the other ones, which should see a boost now. Boost! Use the boost to get through. Actually kind of uses the auto turret to clump them up, but then drops them where the auto turret was, which means these Hellions not quite in position yet. He could get some huge shots off here, though. Just now, though, unfortunately for him, that they are going to get split by HotboxHero, but he does get some good shots off first. Ends up taking out a lot of probes here. Huge damage done. 17 probes by PeeandKeele. Evens up the worker count. Even takes a small lead. PeeandKeele looking to make this a game 5 and hopefully win that. Continuing to mech it up, mech it happen, mech it harder. I'm sure there's actually funny jokes here, but not here. Not with me. Hellion's going to get back into the mineral line as the auto turret comes back in. This is starting to add up a little too much. HotboxHero falling apart a little bit here. This Hellion being rather annoying. But these 2 Hellions in the back, and they keep adding on to the woes. PeeandKeele not macroing perfectly during this, but I mean, he's killed a lot of workers. And he's focusing more on just adding on turrets and just, like, literally tanking up at home. Doesn't have a third base yet, so he's really not gaining that much of an advantage out of all this probe damage, but, I mean, this is officially, like, mental damage at this point. Like, he's killing structures now. Oh, is that a... Okay, I don't actually... Maybe these were canceled, I'm guessing. But, like... Man, he's just... This is just miserable. This is a bad place to be as a former Protoss player. Who's a now Terran player. I know both sides of this feeling. HotboxHero, though, not deterred. Gonna take a 4th somewhat aggressively along the horizontal axis. Gonna try to find this Raven. Not in position to get it. Does not have blink to get it with. Instead went for the charge. And here comes another auto turret. This one time, this one's going to get 1 worker this time before it does anything. Scan goes down. Yeah, that's, yeah. No, nothing different, but you saw it. Ugh. Gonna get stretch in, get a nice cliff shot. Back at home, we have some mag field. We have another armory being added on, along with +1 armor. Does he have +1 weapons? He does not. So he will be slightly ahead in armor upgrades, which of course very good against zealots and all those units. I mean, PeeandKeele's just gonna do what he did last game. He's just gonna macro up. He's gonna out macro him. It's done this time plenty of damage with these Hellions, and he's just gonna take his lead through that. And we're starting to see that worker damage really start to pile on. And the supply difference here. HotboxHero, though, is being a little greedier. This auto turret gonna get in here. This Raven gonna try to fly by. It's gonna run into a cannon, which does mean it's gonna have to angle its flight path a little more dangerously, but there's no danger here. I don't believe there's blink for these stalkers. There is not. He's gonna maybe... No, it's Raven too fast. Very well done by him. +2 armor on the way. Also very good against this mech army. I think +1. I think plus weapons is generally favored because it kind of fights these units a little bit better, and you're already going to take a ton of damage from the mech units. But I'm not sure. I'm not the Protoss player here. Hellion's gonna come in, see plenty, gonna try to go in, but gets a wall of stalkers drawn in its way. And is going to drive out. Sees the proxy pylon finally that was used to warp in those DTs earlier. And yeah, PeeandKeele's just playing very similar to Game 3. It worked so well for him. You know, he's going to force HotboxHero to play that game again. Just say, you know, if you can't adjust and you can't improve, I'm going to win this series with this. I mean, there is an adjustment, though, from HotboxHero. We'll see how he handles these Hellions. The scan's going to come in and see that this is a very undefended base. He does get the pull-off just in time to avoid complete disaster, but can he continue to do that? Only going to lose 5 probes. So we do see some small adjustments from HotboxHero. The storm is still coming, but there's going to be more of an immortal focus on the way. There's no Colossi. You know, there's a lot more gateways coming up compared to other unit buildings. We're starting to see more charge lots in this army. We see a good number of Archons in this army. Like, this is not the same army. That said, his economy is very scarily bad right now. Continuing to add on some Archons just to spend this gas. Immortal production kind of stopped for now, which is something I think I would assume he would like to continue. Immortals seem pretty good against this army. And I don't know. I don't want to call a game early, but I don't see how PeeandKeele really loses from here unless he throws away a huge chunk of units. But he's playing so carefully. Like, he's got drops going out constantly. He's got these Widow Mines walking across the map. These Widow Mines are going to hilariously walk into a giant fucking army. They just slaughtered, but they're one part of many, right? Like, here comes this medevac full of Hellions again. Like, HotboxHero is consistently getting poked at and prodded at, whereas PeeandKeele, like, he's got a 2k bank already, like, of both minerals and soon-to-be gas. Like, by the time HotboxHero gets maxed, like, this army is going to... He's not even going to get a chance to get maxed. This army is coming. I mean, sure, like, these Vikings don't do anything, and there's a much lower tank count, but that's fine. This army got here way sooner than it did last game, and it's a lot scarier. This base is going to get killed before it even had a chance to live. I can't imagine a situation where he fights this. Maybe if he gets a really sick flank of the Zealots, but he's not going to focus on that. Instead, going to try to just walk up this ramp. Gets a pretty good storm on the Vikings. I feel like he's playing for value a little bit too much. Who gives a shit about the Vikings? Like, what do you have? You have a Warp Prism. This is a good flank. I want him to take both angles. Okay, he's taking both angles now. These Zealots taking a lot of tank shots, but this is pretty much the perfect fight as a Protoss. If he gets a good storm on this, the charge lots get cleaned up though due to the Hellbats. Is there enough here? The storm's doing a lot, but yeah, just not enough firepower. More Zealots. Good focus fire down on the Immortal. Almost gets it. Doesn't quite get it though. That storm is really bad. That's not a good storm. It's going to clean up this mech army, but like... cleaning up this army isn't enough right now. I don't know what else to say. Like, assuming PeeandKeele built up his production and is prepared, which he did, like, HotboxHero didn't win that fight decisively. He took some pretty heavy losses himself. If we look at the units lost, like, it's still not in his favor. I mean, obviously that's counting a lot of probes, but even then, like, PeeandKeele's just gonna remax. He's barely spent his bank, and he's already pretty close. Like, he's pretty close to where he was before that fight happened. He's just taking 2 more bases right now. Whereas HotboxHero is just trying to stay relevant, honestly. Like, he's also taking 2 more bases. The only problem is, like, PeeandKeele can 100% hold these bases. Like, there's just not enough firepower for HotboxHero to deny that. I would really love to see just more Robo, more Immortal. Like, these gateway units are not the answer, I don't feel. There's an Adept that gets in here and just starts being annoying. Is he going to try to jump on this base? I think that might be the one location right now that he can realistically hit and actually punish. There are a ton of Hellions in position ready to roll. But, I mean, these are just Hellions. These are not Hellbats right now, and they're not going to do much, especially not against these Archons that are now clumped up. Great Storm on top of all those, killing a good number of workers, too, actually. This Charge-Let Run-By did a lot, and he's going to get away without taking too many losses. A victory, maybe not the most important victory, but a victory nonetheless for HotboxHero. And he's going to need a lot more of those if he wants to get back into this game. I mean, these Templar have just no energy. 5 probes on the way, another Warp Prism on the way. I'm guessing then that he lost his last one in that last fight, but Scan's going to come down, and I don't think PeeandKeele is going to let his foot up off the gas here. He's just going to keep going. Getting into a position in which he is going to be able to close out this series. The only thing on the production tab is upgrades because the man's already got everything else he wants. And we'll gather his forces and kind of move on in here. How do I get the full zoom? There we go. Fullest zoom. And I mean, I can't imagine this works. These are so clumped up walking into Hellbats, and not to mention this tank line back here. HotboxHero is just struggling to find a solution, just now getting plus weapons. It's an okay storm. It's a pretty good follow-up storm, but I mean, like, there's just so much here still. Like, this storm isn't enough. And yeah, I mean, this last wave of Zealots will get cleaned up. It is doing a good bit, but the tank's unsiege. And the armor upgrades of PeeandKeele are so strong, you can kind of just man fight these Zealots. And in a long, drawn-out fight, these Zealots just don't have the advantage they need. HotboxHero trying to spend his bank, but he only has so many weapons. Tries for a flank, but runs into these Hellions, which is basically the worst unit to run into as a Zealot. So, I mean, this... Again, like... PeeandKeele's just still growing behind this, too. He's still expanding. He is 100% in control of this game. And it looks like we'll see a Game 5 for the first time here in the Round of Fate. By we, of course, I mean fucking me and whoever watches this video. Because, yeah. Yeah. It's been a while since I complained about it, but not much else to talk about, unfortunately, for HotboxHero. I believe his chances of winning this game are 0. And we'll see one final attempt, but again, with all these Hellions, those Zealots are gone, which means that then there's the Archons, which are then gone, and then there's the Stalkers, which are then gone, and then we are gone off to a Game 5. But if they just had the supply, then the games would be more exciting. Bring back Road War casting style. I don't know. We're out of stuff to talk about. This will be GG here. Game 5 on the way. Decider match will be on Oxide. Man, I mean, just PeeandKeele. He has made all the adjustments I was suggesting. Held the DTs. I think that's a pretty bad spot for the DT Shrine, frankly, but I mean, Yeah, not a lot else to say. Just we'll get both players in. We'll continue to chew through my hard drive space because my internet can't handle, you know, a small amount of an upload to a fucking website service. HotboxHero is ready. PeeandKeele is ready for game number 5 here on Oxide. This decides it. Who moves on? Who goes home? Both players playing, frankly, pretty well. I mean, both players are playing well, but PeeandKeele is outplaying HotboxHero. There's no word for it. HotboxHero completely outplayed PeeandKeele at the start, but the adjustments made by him are just completely shutting this down. So looking to find a solution in Game 5 to avoid the reverse sweep, it is HotboxHero. I swear I put their team tags in. There better be a rhino when I pan to the top right. There's not, but that's alright. We'll pretend there's a rhino somewhere over here in the red. It is PeeandKeele looking to complete that reverse sweep I was just mentioning. And we'll see what the adjustment is, if any, in Game 5 for either player. I'm zoomed out. I'm not. I'm just bored. And it looks like it'll be a normal racks placement here for PeeandKeele. Nothing crazy. Meanwhile, back at home for HotboxHero, it'll be nothing crazy. Right about here is where these scouts will meet up, if they were to meet up. What a twist. It looks like we'll see kind of an interesting SCV timing. I almost wonder if he was looking for cannons, frankly. I feel like maybe PeeandKeele is like, alright, hold up. You can't just place a Nexus 5 games in a row. You can't do that. Oh, but he can. And so, yeah, I mean, PeeandKeele gonna see this Nexus, gonna be more than happy to throw down that 150cc. The Mario Kart timing, as I call it. 148. That's not an option in Mario Kart, guys. Come on. Like I said, I'm super interested to see the tech decision here from HotboxHero. He does not have a Reaper wall on this map, so he's not going to be able to hide anything. So is he just going to play macro? You know, is he just going to get this Adept out to shoo away the Reaper? And is he just going to say, like, I'm going to play my super macro heavy style. It worked for me in Game 1. It didn't work for me in Games 3 and 4, but I think I can adjust it enough to make it work. And yeah, I mean, I can't assume PeeandKeele is going to do anything other than go mech, frankly. The man's been consistent, if nothing else. On that front, at least. It will be Robo first from HotboxHero. This Reaper, little sleeper. Adept, of course, deciding to move at the exact fucking instant the Reaper comes in. Classic, frankly. Feels great. This Shade gonna chase down this Reaper, gonna chase it away. Is not gonna get it. Oh, nope, never mind, got the attack off. I thought he was not gonna control that completely correctly. Factory on the way, bunker at the front. And again, I can't imagine it's gonna be anything other than just making, like, that these two are gonna swap. Yeah, they're already swapping. So we will see some Hellions. Theme choice will go to PeeandKeele for the Terran. And we keep our eyes peeled. Get it? We'll keep our eyes open, look for what the follow-up's going to be. It's not going to get this depot up, so this is going to be a full scout here. Going to see the reactor factory, which means Hellions almost 99% of the time. And the adjustment is just going to be to take a third base, get another observer out, play this super macro heavy Protoss style where you just get 3 bases, get 3 observers, and just feel safe. Like, you'll be able to deflect anything in theory because you'll be able to see it coming. And it looks like we will see a bit of a Hellion drive around. This is going to kind of hit before this observer gets out, and it is going to be a Hellion drop. This is a massive observer. It's going to see this medevac boosting, which should clue him in immediately to what this is. This cat jumping on my lap without permission. Cat, get down. You are dismissed. And yeah, moving straight into the Raven. These Hellions going to poke away at the third base, but because HotboxHero saw the medevac, he's going to know that exactly what he needs to watch for is this medevac coming in. Gets the wall off with a cyber core, actually. I can't say I've seen that. He's got to react, though. He knows that the medevac is the next play here. And yeah, okay, so he does have the Stalkers in position. He's prepared for this medevac, like, follow-up. Because it's really the only option after... I mean, like, you made this medevac for a reason, right? Stalker's in position on the patrol. PeeandKeele, though, well-aimed himself, will see this and go, alright, this ain't working, Chief. I will simply drive on out of here. Go to the third base, maybe. You know, at least try to force that to basically be inactive, if nothing else. But there's nothing to shoot. Try to go up the ramp here, but again, no dice. Kind of a... You're gonna go focus down the sentry here. That's rude. This is fucking rude. And yeah, it looks like the adjustment is just gonna be more, like, faster upgrades. More blink. I would really like to see this Robo active. I know he doesn't have the gas for it, but that's only part of that's because he's only mining from one gas. Does get a Hellion, kind of nice there. I don't know. I feel like he's not macroing that well. PeeandKeele has definitely thrown him off his game, and he's missing a lot of macro cycles. These Hellions are not going to do shit. But here comes the Raven. I mean, this is the same thing that HotboxHero has had to deal with for 3 out of the 4 games, and he held it really well in Game 1. But Games 3 and 4, PeeandKeele has been focused a lot more on getting the openings with him, as opposed to trying to win with it. This Observer is going to see this. Is he going to have a response? So far, no response noted. We do have an Immortal starting to come out here. This auto turret getting placed. And yeah, I mean, Probe's going to start going down. The second auto turret kind of in a more awkward position than I would have liked. That auto turret really can't actually kind of follow up the probes that have to move down this way. Because they can't move this way because of the gateway. They could move up, but then you still have that angle kind of blocked, so... Small things that don't matter at all, frankly, compared to the amount of damage this Hellion run by can do. Gonna get into a pretty good position, but again, another excellent split by HotboxHero. Gets a force field, we'll clean up yet another Hellion. So we're seeing a little bit more of Game 1 HotboxHero. His spending's still kind of struggling, and his macro's still not perfect, but it's a lot closer to what we saw in Game 1 compared to Games 3 and 4. Like, this defense is a lot more stellar. He's keeping up in supply. You know, he's getting up at that tech tree. He's getting that Colossus. These Hellions, unfortunately, are getting in. I mean, he's got to... This is the problem, right? You got to keep it. You got to keep it clean. The Super Battery is going to stop this, which is going to force these to go up here, which is going to give him the time he needs to warp in some more Stalkers. And with the battery here, there's not enough Hellions anymore to do any real damage. But I mean, it's just never ending, right? Like, this is just tiresome, honestly. Supply is now dead even. Who will break the tie? It's going to be HotboxHero, who then gets tied immediately. These players neck and neck here in Game 5. Banshee cloaking field on the way, finishing up now. Mag field as well. Meanwhile, Colossi charge going to be the choice of tech. These Colossi going to be here as the shield battery saves people. Cannon going down. And PeeandKeele now taking a bit of a big jump here in supply as this tank production starts up. I've got to say, like, that's my one concern for HotboxHero. I don't feel that his army comp is working at all against this tank-based mech. Like, he's got to... I don't know what the solution is. I don't play Protoss and I don't play mech because I respect myself. It's going to blink on this Banshee. No detection just yet. Only detection is this cannon, but does at least make it leave. This is really what he needs. Starting to get the 4th up, but the 4th of PeeandKeele already landed. This time PeeandKeele pulling ahead in the macro base department. We do see a second Robo, which I think is a good indication that he is at least trying something different. Auto turret will come down. We'll start to focus down probes. We'll focus down literally one probe. Second probe goes down. I don't think that was from the auto turret. Does need to get a probe back onto this gas. It's really annoying, actually, when one of your gas probes dies. He's only got 2 of 2 on each of these, so I hope his gas economy isn't too crippled. Scan comes down. We'll see this army is going to drive Hellions directly into it for some reason. I really don't understand this. Like, you scanned it, right? Like you scanned this. a little bit of a bad decision there, given the information he had. But he is still ahead. And growing. HotboxHero not macroing perfectly. Here comes this goddamn Raven again. I'm so tired of seeing this goddamn Raven fly in to this exact location. This time the auto turret, just not good enough. No real control on that. Not going to do anything. Maybe draws away HotboxHero attention for a bit. His spending is really bad, and that gas problem is really adding up now. Because he's still at 2 out of 3 on both those geysers. He does have these other geysers, and he's going to start getting these 4th set, but dude, this is kind of a big problem, right? Going for Storm yet again. Again, I just don't know enough about how to fight mech to say that this is the wrong decision, but I just can't imagine a world where just having a lot of Immortals would be really good, frankly. It's like a huge Immortal Charge-Lot Archon army. Basically, if I'm wrong, what I'm saying is if I'm wrong on this, don't flame me, please. I'm doing my best here. I mean, the ultimate way to shut me up, right, is just a win. If HotboxHero just wins this game, I can't say anything. These Zealots going to find this Hellion run by. They're going to charge away at it. I'm going to get a pretty good damage. Clean it up really before there's enough here. These Hellions going to poke away at this base, but there's nothing here. Blinks forward, is going to shoot down 1, maybe a second Hellion. Oh, we'll get all 4. Nice. Colossi in position. Man, I'm actually excited as hell for this game. I'm not gonna lie. I don't get that excited at StarCraft games anymore. I enjoy casting them, and I had fun watching the past 4 games, but my god, I'm excited. Both players kind of just not getting any sort of big advantage. Just cat ruining my enjoyment. Go have fun over there. I got StarCraft to watch. More Marines. This is, not intended to do damage. This was intended to die, and these fucking worthless Marines can't even do that correctly. And these are probably more intended for some map vision, if anything. I think we have a small break in the action as we see this auto turret fly in here and start harassing some structure. While we have a small break in the action, let's see if we can get this cat to talk. Cat, you ready? Pluto. Zealot run by gets yeeted into existence, but hold on, there's a push here. These tanks not siege. Is this the opening that HotboxHero needs? This is a good fight. None of these tanks are siege. Gets a good storm on this huge clump of them, and I think he may have actually done a good fight here, honestly. This is going really well. Now these tanks are siege. He's got to back up, be a little more decisive about not engaging this, but now going to go back into it, decides that he can fight this, and Charge-Lot's a little bit too far behind. Spent their charge on the Marines, which means that they don't have it here, but he's going to clean up all these tanks. And resetting the tank count is something that actually I do know about this matchup. Really brutal when it happens. Because now, HotboxHero he's got a huge window before these extra tanks come out. Is he going to take advantage of it? I mean, regardless if he takes advantage of it or not, he needed that. He needed to slow down PeeandKeele's mech-building army. And no real tank production yet out of PeeandKeele. It's kind of... Both players kind of stagnating a little bit on this. I believe, yeah, okay, he sees, yeah, he's going to drop a scan even. But this extra swarm of Zealots going over towards this other base location will deny it. Cat, what the hell is your problem? This cat just jumped at my side really hard. I'm so sorry. He's going to take out this base. This base is going to get canceled. These Hellions are going to cancel these Zealots. Cancel culture. But another huge flank from HotboxHero. Is there enough Charge-Lots here to fight this, though? Once these tanks kind of get through, but I think they are through. I think this is it. I think HotboxHero may have done it. He's got such a good position here. There is no tanks left. He's killing so many workers with these Charge-Lots. And it looks like HotboxHero has made the adjustments necessary to avoid not only the reverse sweep, but to advance himself to the round of 4. Extra Zealots come in. going to kill this base. And again, this is one thing I will give HotboxHero credit for, especially, is not only is his defense very good, but his decision making. This man does not overcommit to any push. I mean, you saw it in game 2. Like, that defense of holding against that push, like, it was just perfect. He would go in, snipe a unit, get out before the units could take too much damage. He's killed a ton of advanced mining. Now, PeeandKeele does have a lot of orbitals left over that he built extra with his bank. So he does need to sort of continue to keep the pressure on here. Because he has an advantage for now before this tank count really starts to get going here. So I may have spoke too soon. I think HotboxHero is now being a little too decisive. He's made a decision that he's sticking with a little bit too much. I would love to see him really commit to something here. And he is committing to a fleet beacon. I guess I should say that, right? I did finally get a third worker on one of these casts, at least. What's going to be the tech of choice out of the fleet beacon? Is it going to be the Tempest switch? 2 Banshees going to come in here, going to force these to leave because unfortunately the cannons are focused more on stopping Hellions than they are anything else. So he's going to have to pull his army over here to deal with this. That's really annoying. No observer here means this Banshee... Oh, never mind. No observer here. No observer there for about a second. Ravidic Drive on the way. 2 Tempests on the way as well. So it looks like we are going to start seeing more Tempest tech. The Vikings are coming out to deal with the Colossi. Not as worried. This Archon, as a Scout Archon, is going to die pretty handily. And the tank count now, once again, kind of scary. A little worried for HotboxHero here. He has to handle this push pretty perfectly. Tanks are sieging. He's not responding. Oh, he is going to respond a little too late, though. He's going to take a ton of tank shots and Hellion fire. Not going to lose too much, but... I mean, he's going to lose a lot of shields, especially on the beefer units this army. Does replace it. Now going to choose to re-engage while the tanks move forward. Is there enough here, though? These Hellions completely distracting all the charge lots, not getting on top of the tanks. And I think HotboxHero may be in trouble here. This is scary. There are Tempests out, which are going to get scanned. 14 Stalkers being warped in. And this is a good fight location, too. I like this. He's got to move the Stalkers back. Don't engage this. Don't. Okay, good. Smart. And yeah, just going to use the Tempest to poke away at this now, because he knows he's killed all the Vikings. He knows he can push this army back. And he's going to force a big tech switch out of PeeandKeele, who's going to have to respond to these Tempests. Like, you need Vikings or Thors. You can't just ignore that these exist. That said, I love it. If HotboxHero's plan is to literally make another, to never make another Tempest, and just keep 2 Tempests on the field, amazing. I would love to see that. Just make a bunch of freaking charge lots, and just never make a Tempest again. These charge lots kind of sleeping on the job here a little bit. They actually are going to get aggroed by this SCV, which is actually like the worst thing that could have happened for PeeandKeele, unfortunately. So he's actually going to lose like a small chunk of SCVs here because he built a refinery. And yeah, actually, I love this. Like, don't make another Tempest. Like, you've put the Tempest Sphere in him. He has to respond to it, and he has. He's got 9 Vikings and 14 tanks, but the Hellbat count and the Hellion count itself is pretty low. That scan misses the army. Should be a pretty big hint to PeeandKeele exactly what's going on. It's going to be a charge lot run by yet again towards this base, continuing to harass it, continuing to poke and prod. This scan also missing the army. I mean, PeeandKeele is desperately trying to find this army, just now responding to this charge lot run by. And is this going to be the jump HotboxHero is looking for? Like, is he just going to jump on this army once he sees it out of position? There is a Hellion run by down here, and there's no cannons or anything really at this base. Only one. Now the Hellions drive in. Man, this Blue Flame Hellion is going to tear his line away. A recall. I don't think this is the right decision. But is the decision he's made is going to clean that up pretty handily. And part of the problem is, yeah, that scan's going to reveal this sort of army composition, and, you know, PeeandKeele's going to be like, wait a minute, you don't actually have any Tempests, buddy. You made Tempests. Where are your Tempests? PeeandKeele literally mauling. I mean, he's having a pretty big supply issue. This harassment from HotboxHero has kind of denied him a lot of bases for a while now. And he's having trouble really getting remaxed. Here come these Vikings trying to pick away at the flyable hidden units, and it looks like HotboxHero going to commit to this ramp. Bit of a dicey position, but does he have the beefy force he needs to push through this tank? All of his units are stacked up. And he's going to get completely repelled here. A questionable fight decision, frankly. Like, I'm not even trying to be mean or anything, but when you have this huge stalker-based force, like, it's really rough. This is honestly kind of a diversion anyway, because the real damage is being done over here. But even then, that's such a huge amount of supply to lose for 12 SCVs. You can't argue it's worth it. I'm just not a fan of that fight at all. He lost so many Stalkers and Immortals and all of his Colossi. Which makes me wonder, like, is he trying to move into a different comp? Was that the goal here? Or was that just a poorly taken fight? It looks like he's going to get back in on top of this base, catching the tanks out of position. I'm going to clean up a ton more workers. I mean, this is starting to add up damage-wise. But this is still a really scary army. I don't want to fight this. I'm scared of this as a Protoss player, right? Like, I don't like this. And there's still no production from HotboxHero. He's making nothing. Now warping in warping in 4 Archons essentially. But like, where's the units? He just doesn't have the gas. Like, how many gateways does he have? He's got 14 gates. Like, where are the charge lots? Like, bring on the charge lots. You know, you need something to deal with this huge tank count. And it looks like all his charge lots are being spent on running by these bases, which I think is the correct decision. He's actually... Man, if he would just run into the sensor tower, which I think he may have for a second, it's not enough to draw his army up position. And this army is going to respond and kind of stop him from killing the base, which is kind of unfortunate, but... I mean, like, there's openings here for HotboxHero if he just finds them. We'll go ahead and zoom in, I guess, because... I don't know. This is a brutal Game 5. We're already 21 minutes in, and neither player has what a game-clinching decision looks like. Obviously, the bank of PeeandKeele is not there, but if he can just find a way to get those minerals, like, he'll be in a pretty good position. I do like how HotboxHero has played this with the base denial, where he is just running around and saying, you can't have this base. You can't have this base. You can have, like, these bases, obviously. You already have those, but, like, they're going to run dry. And I have the outside bases, and you can't hold them. Like, HotboxHero is taking a huge lead in this game through that. The only problem is just, like, again, like, the army of the Terran is scary, right? Like, this is a scary army. Again, going to an outer base, and he's going to try to deny this base, but there's no base to deny here. Meanwhile, the Hellions over here going to be kiting these Zealots, but he is going to blink on top of this planetary, take it out. Is he going to back up after this, though? I feel like he needs to. He's killing a ton of workers, though. And yeah, like I said, HotboxHero, decisive, does not take this fight. Backs on out, has not made a single unit that these Vikings can hit for a long time. Which essentially means these Vikings are just stalker killers at best. And this is starting to look bad for PeeandKeele. You know, I liked his army comp a lot against this, but we're officially kind of at a point where he can't make more army to comp. Like, he cannot compensate his army composition with complementary units. I mean, like, PeeandKeele just can't match the economy of HotboxHero anymore. It's getting to a point where I wonder if this is just like a GG push. Like, fuck it. Like, this wins or I lose. Scans doesn't see the army, but if that's because it's right next to him, oh boy, this is awkward. There is a single Tempest left over. Half the tanks will siege up in a pretty good position, but is it a good enough position? I think HotboxHero has enough to clean through this, even though the position of PeeandKeele about as good as it gets, and it looks like our Protoss has finally broken his opponent and will move on. GGG, well played. The G economy is flowing. HotboxHero taking game number 5. Oh, man. Oh, man. Ugh. I mean, overall, just really great adjustment for him in Game 5. Finally kind of got a handle against that style, and he will be your third round of 4 participant. That's going to be it for me. Fuck ISPs, fuck everything. Can't wait to upload, you know, with my upload speed, an hour-long and 20-minute video. So thanks to PeeandKeele for playing mech and making this video really long. But more importantly, if you end up watching this, hey, thanks guys, really appreciate it. You guys have a good one. We'll be back tomorrow if my fucking internet works. Yay!